up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another quick reaction for you guys. Now, Dr. Umar and his daughter, they're still in the news, you guys. It's all over social media. They're still going back and forth about, you know, this child support and whether Umar Johnson is a deadbeat. His daughter is still talking. In this particular clip, she's talking about her still being a virgin at 22 years old and talking about the responsibility of having a child and how that's going to be on her. I want you guys to hear what she have to say. Y'all chime in the comments below. Let's get into the clip though. Here we go.
So I'm still a virgin at 22 years old. A lot of y'all can't say that. And yes, I'm bragging because y'all be out here anything walking. I'm 22 years old, y'all, and I'm still a virgin. Can't no man ever say that they touched me, had sex with me, or seen my body. Y'all wanna know why? Because I'm waiting till marriage. That's why. I'm not out here having sex with nobody. Because if I get pregnant, guess who the responsibility gonna be on? Me. Me. Not him. Me. And this is another thing, because a lot of y'all like to say, oh, well, just getting a abortion has a huge emotional impact on the woman, because you got to understand, it's like you just killed your own child. Y'all think that getting a abortion just solves all the problems. It's a lot of women out there that have gotten that regret that to this day.
Oh, child, listen, you know what? She ain't lying. That is the case for a lot of people. Her mother must have raised her right, because I mean, hell, there's a lot of 22-year-olds that can't say that they are virgins. Trust me, there's so many young women and old women and just a lot of women out here bragging about being liberated to go out here and sleep with whoever. And it's very rare that you find young women who are in this position who have not given their bodies to everybody and who is still a virgin. That to me is the real prize. A woman who's able to keep herself and not have given herself to anybody. That to me, that is the real prize. So shout out to her for that, because I think that is something, and she's only 22, and I think that's important for younger women to actually spread that, because it's a positive message to a lot of these other young women who may not be getting this type of information or getting the message from another young woman. But let's continue.
Because that's your child. Of course the nigga say, hey, here, I'll give you the money for go to Planned Parenthood, get it's easy for him to say he not having a child. It's you. It's emotional trauma. A lot of women that have had a regret that to this day. You could ask them.
No lies detected once again. No lies detected once again. I don't know what prompted her to tell this, but I mean, she's telling the truth. I mean, and you know, I really wish that more young people would come out and speak out against this BS that we got going on here, because it's really damaging just young women in general. And on top of that, a lot of these young women do not have their fathers in their lives, and a lot of times the mothers are misguided, so they don't have the proper training or guidance to grow up and make the best decisions or have the best discernment, because they weren't raised with a solid foundation. So a lot of these women are going out here just moving in a way based on whatever, because they don't really have any guidance. They don't have a lot of these young women don't have parents to tell them, no, your body is a temple. Don't you do this. Don't you do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's already an issue. And so when they get out here, they're already exposed to a lot of toxicity, either in their upbringing and what they're surrounded by, you know, because so much of the negativity is at the forefront of everything. And all of this social media, and then this celebrity and the people that they look up to, and all of this horrible influence, and everybody's, you know, influencing these young people in the wrong directions. It's not a shock that these women are moving the way they're moving, but then they're in denial and they think that what they're doing is correct, even though it's not yielding the best results, and they're struggling, and then they're not learning from their mistakes. So kudos to this young woman. She's learned something. She's not, you know, she said her father was not, you know, Umar Johnson wasn't in her life. And I if I'm not mistaken, I think she said she had a stepdad or whatever, but she got some type of sense, you know, because a lot of times when those fathers aren't around and you have mothers who aren't really on top of what they're supposed to do, these kids be lost in the sauce. She's not telling a lie, and you got to give her credit, because she is 22 years old and she still hasn't given her body to anybody. You don't find that too often in this day and age. You really don't. It's a small percentage of young women who are still virgins, because that is an anomaly. You know, most of these young girls out here now, even a lot of teenagers, hell, some of these girls in elementary school are busting it open, which is sad, but it's the truth. And they have no type of moral compass whatsoever. They have no idea. that what they're doing is wrong. In many cases, they're just doing it because it seems fun, and everybody else is doing it and it's supposed to be okay. And it's being promoted and everything is over sexualized. So these young people are coming up in a society where all of this just seems normal. And the thing that seems abnormal is when you say, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm preserving my body to marriage. They look at you sideways. Like, what? You gonna wait till you get married? Why? And then why you want to be married? You know, it's like, why you want to do that? You can't trust a man, but you can trust a man to give him your body and possibly a STD or a baby, and then run off. But you can't vet a guy and get to know him and find somebody who wants to commit to you and have a real relationship with you, and then give them a child once you're married. Oh, that's crazy. Oh my God, you couldn't fathom that. That's why I say the world is so backwards. Things are so backwards. It's messed up. It's set up for you to fail. And if you don't have the right guidance and the right people telling you the right things to do, this is why we see so much of this foolishness out here in the world today. A lot of young women are just lost in the sauce and they don't know how to find themselves. And the parents are just as lost as well. That's why the kids don't know what they're doing. So, you know, I wanted to play this because I think this was important. And I think that's a positive thing that could be said about Umar Johnson's daughter. But at the same time, this back and forth between Umar Johnson and his daughter, it needs to stop. I really think it's up to the parent to make this right. They're almost like one and the same. Like she talks kind of like he does. She goes on rants like he does. You know, and they're just gonna keep talking. And that's it. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a resolve because he's going to go on his Pan-African spiel and he's going to say things 3 times and he's going to keep doing what he's doing till I guess it phases out. How is this really going to affect them in their personal everyday lives? It's not. And, you know, this young woman is doing interviews all over the place talking about it, which I'm not mad at her for telling her story, because if she doesn't tell her story, then Umar Johnson could just paint any narrative that he wants to and just have people continuously believe in his side. And that's unfortunate. So I always recommend that people have a platform or have a space to be able to say their truth and say their part in all of this, because, you know, Umar Johnson has had people thinking one thing, but a lot of the truth is actually coming out. And once again, this is not a new situation. A lot of people have known about that he's had children and he wasn't allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, a part of their lives. Now the daughter is grown and now she can come out and speak for herself. So, and she has no reason to lie whatsoever. She's given her side of the story, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if she wants to speak out about her experiences with her dad or without her dad, she has every right to do that. And I don't think it is a good look for Umar Johnson. I think he's trying to just continue the way he normally goes on day to day, but it just doesn't look good on him. It really doesn't. And this is why I don't understand why he wouldn't just go and try to mend that and get off social media with this and go try to build a relationship with his children and not keep this going all over social media. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to be notified when I go live or post new content. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.